Hello, this is the Watchdog. Welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the North Edge Anchor. Let's start with the wrist check. I'm wearing this Cadison C8216. And Grego's wearing my Pazomu 614. Grego said they got a new group of younglings at the academy, and Ben Solo asked one of them what system he was from, and he said Tatooine. Ben said, "The only thing from Tatooine are Banthas and Jawas, and I don't see any horns on your head." I asked if that made the youngling upset. He said no, the youngling was a Jawa. Alright, let's take a look at the watch. Comes in this typical North Edge box. They all come in these boxes, at least they seem to. And here is the watch. Isn't that a good looking watch? I really like this watch. I think they did a good job with it. Yeah, it's got a few flaws, but overall, this has been a real joy to wear. This is the 5th North Edge on my channel. North Edge watches seem to be quite popular as number of views go. This North Edge Anchor is quite different compared to their other watches, as this is a solid steel automatic dive watch where everything else was quartz. At around $80, this is a little bit more expensive than your typical North Edge, but when you watch this review, you might just think it is worth it. This watch was provided by Temu. Temu reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in reviewing some of their watches. I agreed, so they told me to pick out $120 worth of watches. So I picked out two. The other was the Top Hill Open Heart I recently reviewed. I made it clear that in no way would I be obligated to give this watch a positive review, but as my return viewers know, I am fairly positive when it comes to watches and rarely ever slam a watch. I do not have to return this watch, and no money was exchanged. This watch comes in 3 different colorways. If you don't want the blue that I chose, there's also the more traditional black, or if black isn't your thing, there is also green. The watch is 41.9 millimeters at the bezel, 51.3 millimeters lug to lug with protruding end links. It's 12.4 millimeters thick, which isn't bad for an automatic. Has a 20 millimeter lug width, which tapers down to 18 at the clasp. And weighs 159 grams with 5 links removed. Yes, you heard me right, 5 links. So this bracelet's pretty long. The bezel is a ceramic 120 click unidirectional. The action is really good. Nice solid clicks, no back play, and everything lines up just fine. And then we have the dial. The dial has a really nice sunburst effect. This is a really deep blue, and it matches the bezel perfectly. And then we have the indices. We have double batons at the majors, single batons at the minors, and we have 2 dots around the 12. Then we have the fence post minute and hour hand, and then we have a second hand with a rectangular lollipop. Then it says North Edge Anchor up top. Then it says Challenger Deep 100 meters, and then it has an anchor on the bottom. Then we have it dated to 3. Then we have a sign push-pull crown. This is not a screw down, but as you can see, there's plenty of crown guard there. So your chances of accidentally popping the crown are pretty slim. But yeah, it would have been nice if it was a screw down, but honestly with this crown guard, a screw down might have been a little bit more difficult. And this is a 100-meter watch. Do you really need a screw down with a 100-meter watch? Then we have the crystal. The crystal is sapphire, and I tested it. I don't know if there's AR coating or not. I don't think so. There seems to be quite a bit of reflection. I didn't see any mention of AR coating in the Temu ad. Then we have the case. The case is really nicely brushed. Has a polished chamfered edge. And it's also brushed up top. Then it's also brushed on the bottoms. I think they did a good job with the case. It slopes down at the edges, so it contours to the wrist. Really nice case. Then we have the case back. It says designed by North Edge. And then it says Anchor, WR 100 meters. Then it says Sapphire Crystal. This is a screw down case back, and it's fairly thin, which is why the watch is pretty thin. A lot of case backs are a lot thicker than this. I think they did a good job with the display case back. Most display case backs just tend to stick out more than non-display case backs. So this one's nice. Underneath the case back is the Miyota 8215 automatic movement. This is a 21 joule movement that hand winds. And not all of them hack, but this one does. And it has a unidirectional rotor, meaning it spins freely in one direction. It has about a 40-hour power reserve, and this is a 3 hertz movement. They're usually fairly accurate right off the shelf, but we'll go ahead and put it on the timegrapher and see how it's doing. Here it is on the timegrapher. I have the lift angle set to 49 degrees, which is the proper lift angle for an 8215. As you can see, this one is running great. +3, +2, +2. That's very accurate. Amplitude's a little low, and there's quite a bit of beat error, but still I'll take accuracy over amplitude and beat error any day. The bracelet is a 5-link fully articulating with polished center links here, and then a brush real center link. Let me show you a link outside of the watch. As you can see there, it's a true 5-link and fully articulating. That means it will contour to the wrist better. Then we have push pin adjusters, not screw pins. I'm perfectly happy with push pins. I just think they're easier than screw pins, and they never come out of me. Then we have the clasp. The clasp is kind of a disappointment. Not only is it pressed, it's one of these pressed ones with the side push here, the single side push, and it takes up all the room of the clasp, so there's not much room for micro adjust. Only 2 slots of micro adjust. As you can see, I moved it in 1. So yeah, clasp is kind of a disappointment. It depends, it is signed, so it depends how important it is for you to have a signed clasp. If you don't care if it's signed or not, I would just get another one. Here is the watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. That looks nice. That wears nice. Once again, the case back is pretty thin, so it wears nice and flat. And I removed 5 links. So you'll be able to wear this watch if you have a huge wrist. Plus, I also moved it in 1 hole micro adjust, so it's really 5.5 links. Here we are in the Lume room. One of the differences between a true dive watch and a dive style watch is the Lume. And unfortunately, this North Edge could never be certified. As we speed up the time, everything starts out okay, but then we see the major hands fading faster than everything else, which is always a bad sign. The double batons do a bit better than the singles, but they won't last much longer. But look at that Lume pip. It is good enough for a real dive watch. Too bad the rest isn't. What I like about this watch? Well, it looks really nice. Plus, it's fairly thin, so it wears nice and flat. I like this deep blue sunburst dial and the ceramic bezel with good bezel action and no back play. And I really like this fully articulating 5-link bracelet. That's plenty long. What are my gripes and groans? Bad Lume except for the pip. This pressed clasp with only 2 holes of micro adjust. And it would have been nice if it had inverted end links since it is such a big watch. Do I recommend this watch? Sure, this watch is great. It is a solidly built dive style watch with a great fully articulating bracelet. However, you might want to pick out a better clasp. Well, thank you for watching my review of the North Edge Anchor, and I'll be back with another review. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. I would like to thank Temu for providing this watch, and I will leave a link and promotional information from Temu. I will not leave anything from AliExpress since Temu provided the watch. I do not have an affiliate link with Temu yet. Bye.